he would like put me in front of a mirror and be like, look, like what's wrong with your face, like here, like like people wouldn't find you attractive, but I'm the only one that could love you. And I'm like, I don't think he ever like punched me in the face or anything, but it was a lot of like grabbing and like throwing and like pushing and like things like that. It was my first like real relationship. I know how it feels to feel alone and scared and lost, so I feel like when I see someone like that, it just kind of makes me think of myself.
What's up, y'all, and welcome to the Hanging Out Forever podcast. My name is Asia Corinne, your host, and I'm here with my co-host and boyfriend of 8 years,
Grant Blackwell.
And today we have a very, very special guest. You've probably seen her from our Instagram page. She has gone viral. Today we have, Soft Bunny.
Thank you so much for having me, love.
Yeah, of course. We're excited to have her on this podcast today. And you know, Hanging Out Forever, what it's all about. It's about dating. We keep it real because we're all besties. And besties keep it real, no frou-frou shit. So we finna get into it today.
Fuck yeah.
All right. So I'm going to call you Bunny for short. Is that okay?
I love that.
All right, right on.
Thank you.
You want to go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, what do you do? Who you are?
A little background.
So I'm from Toronto, Canada. I'm 22. I have my own fashion brand, All Clothing Official. I make menswear, unisex wear, make my own patterns, sew everything from scratch.
Wow.
Normally like outerwear, kind of like dystopian wear, jackets, pants, all of that. My influence is kind of like the Mad Max movies.
Oh, hell yeah.
So
That's cool.
kind of how it's just like all of that. Yeah, basically I can make stuff that looks like it's been through that movie there and back a million times.
I love that.
Just like from my scratch and from my brain. So
where'd you get like the inspiration to become a fashion designer?
It's crazy because I started doing clothes when I was like 13. I'm 22 now. Yeah, it was definitely just going through like depression and people just telling me that I couldn't and stuff like that. So I kind of just wanted to like, you know, do everything that they said I couldn't do, you know, so really just starting from the bottom with hand sewing, spray painting on clothes, graphic design. Then I really worked my way up to like actually sewing, pattern making, designing, all of that. So I've just been kind of working through that. And then, I actually found my real style the last few years with dystopian wear. I loved like I said, like the Mad Max movies and all just like stuff that looks aged. My main thing is like taking something like a fabric of canvas that's existed for so long and making it look like it's been aged for like 200 years or like something like that.
That's a good way to describe the style that I don't think I've heard is like dystopian. I like that that description of it because like the type of pants is kind of like the trip pants,
totally,
and stuff like that style. But because I always think of like what is that style called? Like I'm trying to think of like,
I always called it grunge, but I don't know.
Grunge or like scene, like I don't know. I don't know what it would be called nowadays, but
I love
dystopian
that.
I like.
Yeah, it's definitely something I haven't really seen a lot of people do it before. So I know that once I come out with my next collection, it's going to be stuff that's hopefully going to really make an impact and change the fashion industry.
Girl, go ahead. We love to hear it. That's what I'm talking about. So like you said that you just now found your style. Does that also pertain to your makeup as well? Like were you doing the full on cool makeup look
like the death
2
metal
years ago as well? And like what would you call your makeup?
Yeah, so I remember when I was younger, I just felt like I had the need to kind of like, you know, no one really told me to like not really care and be myself. So I thought I always had to like fit in. So I just kind of did like the regular and this, and I wanted like, you know, I was more insecure. But then when I came to LA and I figured out about different styles, I did different types of eyeliner, and then I got inspired kind of like by tattoos, but it's not a tattoo, it's just like eyeliner. And I started with like the lines here, like little things, and I kind of all mixed it together.
It's fire.
So
you heard that, y'all. It's not a tattoo.
It's not a tattoo, guys.
It's not a tattoo.
Yeah, people in the comments just for some reason believe that you just
I don't know how they can get that wrong.
Like
it doesn't look, it looks tattoo-esque, but it doesn't look like a tattoo ink.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of funny to me because you'll be surprised how many people, like, even in public, like, it'll make me think, I'm like, is it just like a conversation starter?
Right.
Or are they just like, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
How often do you are you like roaming around and walking around with this on like the makeup?
Every once in a while, I either go between like, so I shave my head and I'm naturally ginger.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I can see that.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So then I'll kind of like, because I'm just really into menswear specifically because I feel like I do women's wear, but I feel like a lot of the time women's wear is very sexualized, which just makes me feel weird in a type of way. Because let's say it's like a video game. It's like, oh, the guy is wearing like a suit and like armor and like cool pants and like layers and like this and that. And then the girl's just wearing like a sexy like skirt or like whatever.
Or
so it's just kind of like, my purpose is to make anyone feel comfortable in their own skin, whether that's a guy wearing a skirt, a girl wearing cargo pants. I just kind of want people to feel like their true selves, feel comfortable in their skin, because I feel like gender norms was created by people. Like pink could have been for guys,
right?
And blue and all that could have been for girls, but it's just kind of like, how the world is. I'm just trying to like break that barrier between all of that.
I love that.
That's a good way to go
your look
about
is
fashion
so
too.
unique. Yeah, exactly.
Thank
it's
you.
just like you're so unmistakably you.
Thank you.
I think that that's really awesome, because the post that went viral, we'll give you guys some background about it. If you haven't seen it, I'd be kind of shocked. Basically, she was talking about her experience with this guy that she was dating who was messaging a bunch of different women.
Yeah.
And
like serial messaging, which sounded like, the way you described it, it sounded insane. Like you're like, he sent like 50 different messages, the same just copy paste message to all these different women. It's like, dude, why are you going so hard to try and find another girl?
No, it was so crazy. And I feel like it kind of just got to the point for me that, I would sit down with him and I'm like, okay, like what's going on?
Right.
Yeah.
Like
it's like an addiction or something.
Yeah, it's like, because I just feel like it's like, and it can go for both like girls and guys.
Totally.
It's like there's issues in the family or trauma or like things like that where the child doesn't get specific love or needs, and which causes them to need attention from like multiple women. So even if you have the perfect woman giving them everything that they need, or like for a girl, perfect guy giving them everything that they need, it's still like an issue within themselves that they just don't feel loved. And it's just like weird. It's like an addiction or just insecurity at the end of the day that you need like constant
reassurance and stimulus.
Yes.
Comes out in different
Crazy.
ways. Yeah.
How long were you dating him? Tell us, like, just paint the landscape of that relationship, if you could.
It's funny because I was young. I was like 16. I'm 22 now. Yeah, so it was a while ago.
That's crazy. Okay, yeah. That's really intense.
It was my first like real relationship. Because I even was like at his house half the time because they wouldn't even like let me leave. Like it was like I used to love going outside, doing things, but he always just wanted to like be inside and play video games, and it would be weird. I would be like, oh, I want to go and see my homegirl that's like down the street. And he would be like, if you're not back by 10 p.m., I'm locking you out of my house. And I was going through stuff in my family at the time, so he knew I didn't have anywhere to go. And then it would, it was so extremely like toxic and took such a turn on my mental health. Because it would like, he would also victimize himself. And I saw his situation with his mom and his dad. And it made me feel really bad for him because I was like, I know that your upbringing was terrible. So that's why I would kind of be like, oh, like, after I just caught him so many times, I was like, what's going on? Like, and then he would just, like scream and cry and be like, I don't know, like all this. And I'm like, I just want to know.
If you don't mind me asking, what was his upbringing like? What was the situation with his mom and his dad?
It was weird. Like, it was just like his mom, would be like, I'm like trying to like even remember because I like cut out so much of it because it was just so
I
like,
feel that
traumatic.
No, I've been there.
Right. His mom was just kind of like on the couch all day, and it's like she hated him, but she was also like obsessed with him. Like she would like kick him out of the house and be like, never come back, like I hate you. And then like he'd be like outside, and then she'd call him and be like, where are you need to come back. And then like when I was there, it would be things like she would just turn off the Wi-Fi like randomly, like in the middle of the night. And so then he would go downstairs and be like, turn on the Wi-Fi, and she's like, I'm not turning on the Wi-Fi. And so then he would like go in, and then she would get in his face, then he would like push her, and then she would be like, you push me. It was like screaming. Then the dad would come and they would start fist fighting, and it was like, it was just like a whole difficult,
right.
So even for me to be there, it was just like traumatic in itself, because I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, I feel so bad that he's having to like deal with this. But at the end of the day, like, it's just his attitude, like the words that would come out of his mouth that he would say to his mother would be things that I could never even like
imagine.
Think of like insulting someone with.
Wow.
That's like a tough situation for you to be into, because you feel bad for him because of his upbringing and like the trauma that he's enduring in front of you. But then he's kind of taking that and directing it at you as well, or like learning these tactics from his parents to kind of manipulate you in the relationship.
No, exactly. Because he would, even if he didn't get what he wanted, he'd be like, leave. And then I'd be like, okay. And I'd start packing up my stuff, and then try to like just like pull me back and be like, you're not leaving. And like it just like, so it just was a total back and forth, like, my bad.
No, you're good.
All the time.
Yeah.
It just was
was he older than you? You said you were 16.
No, he was the same age as me.
Wow. Yeah. See, like, to go through that, like, because you guys are like in high school, right? During this,
I feel like that's the main years that like a teenage brain is kind of developing as well. So just kind of like, it would be things too where he's like, he would like put me in front of a mirror and be like, look, like, what's wrong with your face? Like, here, like, you know, like, people wouldn't find you attractive, but I'm the only one that could love you and like take care of you.
That's like insane manipulation, right?
That's so another level.
So even when I went to LA, he just convinced me, because it was kind of like a Stockholm syndrome type of thing, that he was like, I'm the only person that you need and whatever. But just seeing him do all this, like, I'm a very I feel like communication is the biggest importance in a relationship. Definitely. You know? So like I said, like, after a point, I wouldn't really get mad. I would just kind of be like, what's going on? Like, do you need help? Do you need this? And then like I said, he would just like scream and cry and I don't know what's wrong with me and blah 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 blah. But then like wouldn't let me leave, and like it just was like weird.
See, that's a tough situation, because you're like, I want to like help you because there's obviously something seriously wrong here, like some type of mental issue here, you know. Exactly. I think the only thing that could have probably helped that was like medication or something.
Medication therapy, and he would refuse. He would refuse. Like, he didn't want to go to the doctor. He didn't want to go to therapy. And it was like
he didn't want to help
weird.
himself.
It was messed up.
How did that affect your confidence and your mental state, especially from your transition from Canada to LA and then coming out here and finding yourself? What was that timeline like? Yeah,
it was definitely difficult. Just I think like the backlash of it when I ended it when I was in LA. So I was like 17. Maybe latest 18. The long distance was really difficult as well, because it's 3 hours ahead in Toronto, and I'd wake up in the morning. I even have like screenshots of all of these things. He would I'd wake up 100 like texts, like 50 missed calls. And he's like, I know you're not fucking sleeping, you cunt, like, fuck you, bitch.
So
like,
you guys tried the long distance thing for a little? You guys
so it was really difficult. It made me I used to love being on my phone, posting all the time, but And it's funny because it's like 5 years later, but now even when I get a text, like I get such bad anxiety, or like it's so difficult to like respond to texts or DMs because I was always on my phone, like texting. Because if I didn't respond in like 5-10 minutes, even if I was in school or doing work, like he would just flip his shit and be like, I'm gonna go hurt myself, or I'm gonna go do this or that. And it just,
Did he ever threaten you with physical violence?
There was definitely like he never like, it's funny, I'm like, I don't think he ever like punched me in the face or anything, but it was a lot of like grabbing and like throwing and like pushing and like things like that. That was
that's him like trying
difficult.
to toe the line of like, is it abuse or is it not abuse? But it's like grabbing you and throwing you around. I didn't really do anything.
I just pushed you. Yeah, you're fine.
That's physical abuse.
Yeah, and even telling me to leave, that I'm leaving, and he grabs me and he like throws me back on like the bed or like against the wall, and he's like, "You're not leaving." It was just very like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But then he would also be like the sweetest person on the other side. It was like there was two sides. So that's kind of why I felt like it led to the Stockholm, because he just was like, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be like this. Like, I want to be better. Like, I've just gone through so much, and like, I love you, and I don't mean to be like this. And so then I would like feel bad. But then it would be good for like a few days, but then it would just go back to like, I just got so tired. It was excruciating.
Being that was your experience, is it triggering at all for you to read the comments and see that people are like, you're the problem, you were bad for leaving him, even though he was threatening to kill himself as a repercussion of you leaving or anything like that?
I honestly just thought it was really funny in a way. I just feel like I've just worked so hard over the years to be secure with myself, and I know who I am, and I know myself. So it's like, and people don't know the full story. So when I see things like that, it just kind of makes me laugh. I don't know why, because I'm just kind of like, everyone is entitled to their own opinion in their own situations. I feel like it's very subjective. So yeah, none of them really triggered me. I just think it was kind of funny.
These people in the comment sections are like Stephen King level creative when it comes to them creating narratives of like 20-second clips they see.
Yeah.
Like they'll just create a whole story, backstory.
And I didn't look like this either. When
that's what I was gonna ask.
In that relationship.
That's exactly what I was gonna ask next. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, like I'm ginger, I like shave my head, but I had like long red hair. I just wore like, regular eyeliner. I never did this type of makeup or anything. So it just never.
It's so interesting because that's one of the comments that we get the most. So earlier we were all discussing how on her post it's gone viral twice. So one of them is at like 1 million and the other one is at 900,000. Usually when we have a post that does really good, guys, we post it twice because like duh, and like the comments are broken up into 3 people. Where it's people like, oh my God, her makeup is so cool. I guess it's 4 people. Oh my God, her makeup is so cool. I love that. It's so unique. I need her. Where is she? I want her.
The simps were in the comments.
Which we love. Yeah. And then there's the people who are like, why would somebody get a face tattoo like this? She's the problem. Yeah. And then there's the other group of people who are like beyond like the face stuff, just blaming you as a woman for leaving him in a time of need. And that's her problem because she should have been a woman that was down for him. And it's because of her face and her makeup. Of course, look at what kind of guys she attracts. So it's very interesting to know that you didn't even have this look. Do you feel like you're attracting better guys now?
Definitely. I feel like it took a lot of time and growth because I just feel like my upbringing, growing up, just people in my family, they would struggle with mental disorders. So it would be like they'd be really harsh at times, but then I knew that they are the most amazing people. So I feel like, and I know how it feels to be in a bad situation. Right. And I know how it feels to feel alone and scared and lost. So I feel like when I see someone like that, it just kind of makes me think of myself, and I'll be like, I really see something in this person, and like I wouldn't want to just be pushed aside because I'm dealing with something, you know. But then I kind of realized, you know, when it really the bad starts to outweigh the good, and it starts to affect my mental health and everything. I can't focus on myself, and I just start to find that I'm losing myself more and more. I just kind of have to take a step back because I really tried. Like I really did try. You know, and I don't even, I just feel like, especially in LA, I've realized that there's a lot of people, girls and guys, that will kind of try to use their situation to be like, I'm going through this. Yeah. So then it'll make me be like, oh, you can stay at my place or I can help you. But then after just going through so many situations with different guys and then friends, like I've really just taken a step back, and I'm like, I really need time just to be there for myself, because I've only been there for other people for so long, and it's just really like, you know, drain my battery. It's like I'll just feel so tired, you know, and it's literally, like I said, the battery, it's like it's taking me down but filling them up, and then it's just, it's not really like the full story.
Do you think like you had kind of a guard up after that situation happened, to where maybe there was a good situation happening, but it was just so hard for you to kind of trust that you might have let it go? Or
I feel like because of that situation, I did feel really insecure and unloved and not good enough. So I went into like another relationship after that. And the guy was bad in like a different type of way. He had like anger issues and was like always going back and forth with this, and it just was so bad in its own way. And then I started being with this girl in LA, which was like great, but then she was so wishy-washy. Like it would be things where she'd be like, oh, my friend called me and wants me to go out, but I don't want to go out tonight. And I'm like, don't go out. And we'd have a whole conversation. She's like, okay, like I'm not gonna go out. Then like 5 minutes later, she's like, okay, she's gonna come pick me up now and go out. And like, so I had to learn to not get so involved with people and let them affect me. Definitely just being able to go through the mix of just learning about people, going through those situations. I feel like, you know, you really have to go through that to really learn, especially if you're a good person, you want to help. Not like good, I mean, like, you know, you're the type of person that wants to help. You know, there's a lot of good people that, you know, are different in different ways. So
have you had like anybody reach out to you or anything like about the post, like maybe people from your past, or just like new people that saw the post? Because I think what
was the feedback like? As it pertains
definitely
to the post?
No one from my past. It was a lot of new people, just like in my comments and like in my DMs or things, or random people. I was telling you, I'll start from this and I'll go into the DMs. I'll go out like to parties or something. And it's so funny. Like I'll have a random guy come up to me and he's like, oh, I saw you in this interview.
Crazy.
Wow.
Like, are you doing okay? And I'm like, what? Like who? And he's like, no, like I saw you in this interview. I'm like, have I met you before? And he's like, no, like I saw you and I'm wondering if you're doing okay. And I'm praying for you. But it's so funny because like you said, there's no in between. It's either like, I hate you, like fuck you, or it's like, I love you so much. I hope you're doing well. Like even some of the comments, like you were saying, that people were like, oh, she should have helped him. I'll get comment, like I saw a bunch that was like, you should have let him just kill himself.
I've seen those too.
It's like, gee,
I was like, oh my god.
We try to comment monitor as much as possible, but honestly we have so many posts that, like, not to toot our own horn, but they do go viral. like quite often, so it is impossible to keep track of some of the comments.
You can never tell.
At some point, it belongs to the internet, and there have been some comments where she should just let him kill himself. I'd be like, okay, I gotta delete that. We cannot be promoting that, you know. But I'm sure that there's a bunch of those I've missed because it's just we get the same engagement on TikTok, on Instagram, so it's just like hundreds and hundreds of comments a day on like 4 to 5 different posts at a time. And at some point, I'm like, I'm tired.
No, it's too much.
Yeah, but the haters, if the haters ever saw you in person, they would never say anything. Those are the type of people that they don't say shit. In person.
I don't think I've met any.
What are some of the feedback that you've received outside of like, well, for our post, what are some of the most shocking comments that you saw?
I think I like pulled.
Oh yeah,
because I'm dying to know like. And what did it feel like when your numbers were growing as the post was happening? Because you're the first person that we've had on the podcast that we've had doing street interviews that's gone viral. So what did it feel like when you started watching your numbers grow up? Were you like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was just definitely crazy because I feel like when I post Instagram posts or reels or TikToks, it's normally people that I know responding. So it was just really like cool and funny to see people that I don't know kind of have their opinions. Like a lot of the people are commenting like the Spirited Away.
Yeah. No
like,
face.
Or like the Juggalo.
All the gifts.
Yeah, it was so funny. Like I just thought it was really interesting.
It takes a minute to kind of get used to and wrap your head around because like when we first started posting and it started going crazy and going viral, we were like mind blown. You know, we're just like, what is happening?
And
what
it was
is
scary
this?
Because we were like, people
it was
hate
freaky.
us. Now if people aren't hating me in the comments, I'm like, fuck, this post is a bummer.
Yeah.
You know?
You need a mix. You need a mix. Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like basing their opinion off of a 30-second video. You know, it's never the same as like you said, like having a real conversation or meeting them in person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like, it's good to have both.
So you've taken like screenshots of some of the craziest comments. Yeah, let's go through them.
But yeah, I don't know why none of them really affect me. I just think it's funny.
Yeah,
that's a good.
You took it like a
That's a good way to go about thinking about it. Honestly.
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of funny. Like I would get some that's like. She was 1,000% in the psych ward. And then the other ones are like, she looks like she comes straight from Black Clover with that makeup. It looks really cool. I like her a lot. Or like,
I need her.
Her makeup is awesome. Oh, this is so funny. This one made me laugh a lot. It said, she is so cool, but she isn't wife material because she is husbando material and I'll be the wife.
That is hilarious.
That was so funny.
Because I think
She's not wife material.
We pinned your comment.
I'm wife material.
Yeah, they're like, I'll literally this sim, like it was
that
so
is
cute.
So step on my balls or some shit.
Because we typically we don't like to tag the people that we interview just because we just don't want to like dox them.
So like if usually we don't tag them in the posts because we're very anti-doxing because not everybody is gonna like react the same way to how their image is being received,
or just the commenters
totally
and stuff.
Yeah.
So like we loved being able.
But if you're down for it, we're like,
let's pin your comment so that people know.
They know what's up.
That definitely helps me so much.
How is that like? Have you seen any growth from that on your page? Because so many people love you. That's the crazy thing.
That was the the biggest reaction we've seen to like them knowing who it is, and then like under your comment, there's just a bunch of replies of people.
I know, and people are like fighting in the comments. Like I think the only person I had from my past is one of my good friends back in Toronto, and he called me. He's like, "Did you see that this video like got posted and went viral?" And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Look at the comments." And he's like reading the comments, and he was like, yeah, someone like said like she's so ugly or something, but then there was like 100 like response of people being like, no, like look at your own page.
Yeah, I know, calling out them,
da 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 da.
Who are you to talk?
Yeah, exactly.
She's hot.
Yeah, people that I don't even know, they're like fighting each other. So it was super cute. Like,
have you seen like growth on your Instagram page and stuff?
Oh yeah, I was at 3,000 like a few months ago, and like now I'm at like 6,000, like 300. Like I'll wake up with like 100 new followers every day, and so I'm
Every
really
Wow.
thankful.
day?
Yeah, so I'm really thankful for that.
Wow.
For
It's
sure.
been like that. We always said about your posts too, because a lot of our posts that do crazy numbers, they'll just shoot up right away.
Mhm.
But yours had like a gradual
Slow burn, so it's like constant.
I think that the algorithm was trying to kind of push it down or something because it gets a little crazy in there.
Yeah.
But people kept sharing it. Like it just, I think it naturally grew. So when it naturally grows, people are just a lot more attracted to it in that way. So
yeah.
No,
I love that though. I
Because
love
when
that
we
you're seeing
first
something
posted it, I
positive
was
from
like,
it.
I don't know if this is going to go up because it was moving so slow. And then it got to however many K in a day. And I was like, okay, maybe. And it was like one of our slowest growing millions, not the newest one, but the first one that we posted. But it has so much engagement.
Yeah,
that we were
that's the
like,
thing, too.
holy
Yeah.
shit, this is insane. And I actually went to your page, I think like last week, obviously before we had you on the podcast, because I was like, I'm curious to see if people are on her page and her comments asking like if they can be with her, because it happens in so many of our posts. They're like, where is she? Please send me in her direction. And I went to your page and some guy said, damn, I just had it. What did he say? He was like, I want to be with you. I think you're a goddess. Any advice or some shit like that?
And then I told
Any
you that
advice?
some other
Yeah.
guy responded and just said like, can you fight?
Yeah.
And I was like,
fighting
oh
over
my
you.
God.
Are you getting
I love that.
DMs?
Yeah.
Let's
so I'll
go.
read,
Okay, let's see.
Some
Yeah,
of
let's
them
see.
as well. But yeah, even the comments, like people were like, which Pokemon is this? Let him do it. Solves the problem for I was like, oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then and then it goes from like, I don't think he's the one with issues and blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
But it was super funny.
You
And
didn't
then
get
I'll
any
even
hate DMs, did you?
Pardon?
You didn't get any hate DMs like, you bitch, how dare you leave or generalize all men? And I'm like, that's not even what I did really.
Oh,
I don't think it was. Yeah, someone even DM'd me and said, oh, it's makeup. You probably get this a lot, but I thought it was tattoos, which would have been crazy, but still it looks awesome either way. You definitely need guts to pull it off. There was one that was funny. It was so saw the video you were in regarding your ex. I'm really sorry that happened to you. I hope everything
That's
moving
sweet.
forward is much smoother from now on. You deserve better.
That is so sweet.
love that.
Yeah, it was super sweet. And said, Guy definitely had issues. I'd be lucky to have you as my beautiful girlfriend. And the last thing on my mind would be cheating on you. On the contrary, I'd do anything to show you and make you feel loved.
Jeez,
And are these like
I'm loving
are these
that.
like kind of like vanilla looking guys,
Yeah,
or are
good
they
question.
Oh my God, I didn't even like click the accounts. Like,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I want to know
Yeah.
if they're eligible bachelors, because that would be crazy if you accidentally kind of matched.
They found love on the post.
If
through
they
the
found
post?
love, if you found love on the post,
I love that.
right.
Same.
And I'm just thankful because I need to be more on my business as well, because I feel like that would definitely
I hope this drives sales. Yeah, for your
help me as well.
I mean, if people
This
like your
this
style.
one was kind of funny. It was like some guy said, this was so weird to me. I was like, what? It was like, we have similar eyes and I have no idea why, that deep void. And then it's like, no idea why I even wrote to you. I don't even like you nor your aesthetics. I'm like, what?
Jesus. Oh my
I just wanted
gosh.
to tell you that I'm thinking about you, but I hate you. You beautiful
Yeah,
bitch.
I think
like,
you
we
had-
have the same eyes, like the void.
Did you have those?
But like,
I
fuck
think you had
you.
those lenses in or something. I think you
Those
had
were
colored
Oh
lenses.
yeah, they're
So
like
cool.
black
Yeah.
sclera.
yeah. Those are
lenses.
so cool. Your eyes are beautiful, by the way. Are these like your? Is
Oh.
this like your natural eye color? It's
Yeah.
like green.
Yeah. Mhm.
So pretty.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, your eyes
baby.
are so big and beautiful. Oh my god.
Oh, thank
I-
you. You're so sweet.
What are you looking for as it pertains to dating? And feel free to read any other crazy ass
Oh, yeah.
DMs because
Yeah, and I was
Or-
even gonna say
yeah.
like, my friend even hacked into that guy's account
The
that
guy
I was
that
telling
you
you.
were
So I
dating?
had the like proof
crazy.
Wow.
of him messaging.
Can I see?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Let me see if
For
it works.
context, anybody listening, on the post, she talks about, like we said earlier, that she was dating a guy and he was messaging 50 girls like the same thing all within 1 hour. And when
Yeah.
she threatened to leave, he would threaten to kill himself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I even have texts of those too. It would be like 13 minutes. So bad.
he didn't get any responses.
no, like most no.
Is that kind of the worst part though? You know what I mean?
And I feel like that's kind of what I fell into it because I met him
This is
by
insane.
DMing me, being like, "Oh, you're so beautiful.
okay.
How can I make you mine?"
Mhm.
Yeah. So then I was like, kind of talk, but then I realized I was like, "Oh my god, I was one of
You were one
I
of
was
the
one of the
50.
50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is crazy. You're so beautiful. It's crazy how perfect you are, but so far away. You good? Guess Christmas came. Is it okay if I read some of these?
No, please.
Mhm.
You good? Guess Christmas came early.
Oh, these are some of the
What he
The
was
girls that
messages
he
to
was
the
DMing.
girls.
Yeah.
Oh my
Where are you
gosh.
from? And she says something wherever she's from. He says Toronto. How old are you? Let me take you out. She said, where are your IG pics? He doesn't have any pics on his like Instagram.
No, he would even like when we were together, he would like tell girls that he's gonna like fly them out, but he has no money, no job, like no
Oh,
nothing. And I'm like, what are you
He's a
even talking
capper.
about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
This
so
is
weird.
so
Was he
weird.
like a love bomber? Like
Is he in
would
the
just be
culinary
like,
business?
Oh my god, you're so
No.
beautiful.
He just made that up.
No, yeah.
Whoa,
Jeez.
that's
He
He
that's
needs to be
deep.
making everything
Hey, sexy. Oh,
That
man.
is so deep. Where does he find these women?
Shadow
They're just like
clones.
That's what I don't
random
even know. Like,
Instagram
That's
people.
what I want to know. Like,
that's like that has to be like a hobby, like a job. Like you're literally
Yeah,
like,
like,
sitting
this
in
is like a
bed, like
full-time
just
thing.
like
God, that's insane.
It's crazy. He should
Like,
be a
how do you have the time?
telemarketer. Just
Right.
like
yeah, like oh my god.
I can't believe like
That's
somebody
insane.
could send someone else 5 DMs if they're not a famous person and then still be like, this is right. I should keep going. He said, Queen, hard eyes. How do I make you mine? Damn. Emoji. Too many babies in one photo. You so fucking sexy. Bro. This is so bad.
It was so bad.
That's wild.
This
What
is
so
bad.
what's like your love life now these days?
Good question. I'm just
Is it have you moved on from guys like this?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Uh-huh.
Crazy shit. Thanks for sharing.
No, of course. Even there was even ones that he would like. Wait, let me see this one. Like I would wake up to this, and you should even show the camera this. This one's crazy.
Yeah, sure. Hell yeah.
Oh my god, my phone is like not working.
Oh man, I feel like was there ever a part of you that
I would wake up to like this.
yeah, let me see.
Yeah,
His
I'd like
n-
wake up in the morning.
Hit 97 messages. 97 50 missed FaceTime calls. Oh my god.
He's like, I know you're not fucking
Send this-
sleeping.
Look
Yeah.
at her. She's doing her little kid.
Oh.
Oh my god, the
She's
BTS
so
baby. Grant, take a picture. Wait a
I know,
minute.
it's
Hang
so
on.
cute.
Our cat is behind the camera. What?
That is so
Kitty.
cute.
You gotta be careful
Kitty, kitty.
now, though.
Oh my
That's
god.
making
I have a
little
good
director.
angle too if you want me to take one too.
Yes, please. Holy shit.
It's making me a little nervous, Kitty.
No, she's fine. She's not gonna knock it over. Kitty, kitty. Wow.
She's so cute.
Oh my god, Kitty. That
She
is
already
so
popped
funny.
in
Our
and
little
made her
producer.
cameo too, yeah.
Oh my god, your cat is cute as shit too.
Yeah.
Look at this little baby.
Oh
It
my
went,
god.
It went on sleep, obviously.
Oh, it's
97 text messages.
That's
And one of the
yeah.
text messages she just showed me, it says, I know you're not fucking sleeping.
Yeah, and there was one.
That's insane.
That's a lot of free time, bro.
And then, oh my god, this is crazy. So this was this girl
Yeah.
that was with him after me, and I messaged her.
You're
I was like,
watch
hey,
out.
he's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
it's the same thing where he'll just be like, oh, my ex-girlfriend's crazy, like blah, blah. So she didn't believe me at first. And then like a year or a few months later, she's like, calls me. She's like, oh my God, you're right. I found a second account. And this is like what he would like text to her.
Oh, she found his second account.
Yeah. Like,
Because that's how he was messaging those 50 girls, right? He had a second account.
so he had his main account, but then he had his second account.
And that's why he
too.
doesn't have any pictures.
That's where the
Yeah.
Oh my God. So he was texting another girl, you're a joke. How come you don't do it, cunt, and never have? And you say you don't, I don't know, what is it? Something about being ugly. He's very, very weird texting.
No, he would say the worst. Like,
She said, then she says, I said that it's very possible to love someone and not know how to help them. Oh,
Exactly.
He's asking for help again. He
Yeah.
said, bruh, I'm dead. Then you're fucked because people in pain and you do nothing about it. I hope you die, you worthless bitch. You made me this way.
he would always say that.
Whoa.
To me as
I'm
well.
going to kill myself. Enjoy your sleep. Please. I don't care. Girl.
Yeah.
He's doing the
That
same.
is
That's his
Yeah,
go-to
that's like his
right
pattern,
there.
I guess. That's his thing. Is his
Yeah.
bread and butter.
And then he's like, you can
KMS for kill
go,
myself.
I
It's
don't
crazy.
care, I'm gonna hurt myself, I'm gonna just hurt myself and focus on myself and the people that actually care. And then she's like, didn't you say that you don't have anyone that cares about you or
Right.
helps you? And he said, LMAO, didn't you say you were gonna help me and show me, you ugly cunt? Oh yeah, you're pathetic. Exactly, die, bitch. I wasted so much time with you. And then it'd be things where he would be like, to girls, like, how many other guys you calling baby? And she's like, how many other girls you calling baby? And it's like, no one. And then it's like the video of like him messaging.
Hey,
It's
baby.
just
Hey,
crazy
sexy.
because he's like doing this to himself. Like he's messaging all these women, then getting caught, and then trying to turn it on you, like you're like pathetic or something. It's like, dude, this is pathetic, my guy. Like,
I don't think they.
how do you not see
Part
that?
of me wants to feel bad for him, but there's a limit.
He's mentally unstable.
So
but
there's a limit.
That's none of your that's not your problem. You know what I mean? Like,
no, exactly.
He's making
That's
it
why
your problem.
I realized I was like, maybe he just needs help or like love and this thing. But then that's why I said in the video, I was like, you just need therapy or like just
something else that's not
something.
me.
Was that
it's just
person
like the hate is just too much.
Was that girl? Was that recently that you saw that, or was that
I think that
a
was
while
definitely
ago?
like a couple years ago, and then
Okay.
he was with like this other girl, and it was like the same. It's just the same pattern. It gets worse
Man.
and worse.
Did his
and worse.
parents ever call him out of his name? Is
Pardon?
that why? Did his parents ever call him like out of his name, like a stupid motherfucker?
Sounds like his mom would like
or, like-
belittle him. or
Oh
something.
yeah, like
that. I'm wondering like why he has so much verbal ammunition.
Yeah, they would
towards other
definitely
people.
go like back and forth. Like she'd call him like a crackhead and like this and that. And it would be things like he would like call her and be like, oh, can you get me food? And she's like, fuck you, and like hangs up the phone. And then like 5 minutes later, she'd be like, what do you want? Yeah, it was weird. And like there would even be things where I would be like making him like a sandwich or something, and then she would come and like kind of like push me. She's like, you don't know what he likes, like only I know what he likes.
Whoa.
And it was like
Scary.
it was freaking
That's
weird.
like the serial killer starter kit right there. Is like the mom that's like very
Belittling.
demeaning, political. Yeah. Like maniacal and just crazy.
Yeah, like it was fucking crazy.
Do you feel like he ever actually would have done it? Like,
I don't know.
I feel like people who just say it, they're not likely to.
Yeah, it was just definitely like an attention thing, because even if he's like, oh, I'm cutting myself or something, I'd be like, okay, send me a video. And he's like, no.
He never did that though. He
Yeah,
never cut
prove
himself.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
prove it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's. I mean, at a certain point, like you can only do that so many times. You know, it's like the boy who cried
right.
killing myself.
The boy who
Yeah,
cried
the boy who-
KMS.
Yeah. It's just like
Right.
Was part of him reaching out to the 50 girls like a turnoff? I mean, obviously it's a turnoff, but was it also because one of the things that we talked about was on a different podcast episode. One of the things that we talked about was if I had seen him message a bunch of girls and none of them responded, I would be so much more turned off, because it's like all of these women are seeing something that I didn't see or something like that. Did it feel even more disgusting because they were just ghosting him too? He was getting no play.
Oh yeah, it was definitely pathetic.
That's rough.
Like it was
that's
definitely
rough.
just like that's why I would be like, I'm like I said, I'm a very like communicative person, so it got to the point where I would just kind of sit there and I'm like, okay, I found this, like what's going on? Do you need like mental help? Like do you need this? And he's like, like crying. I'm like, bro, like just chill for a sec, like tell me what's going on in your brain that's like what, because it was just totally like it was just disgusting, because some girls would respond, but like others it just was totally like you're a loser, like
Did that open your eyes to him in a way where you're like, wow, I'm starting to really see this a little bit more clearly?
Yeah, like I think it was definitely just even the text of like, I know you're not fucking sleeping and stuff like that. Like it got like way too much, so that I was like, I really tried everything that I could, and like I just cannot be texting all the time. I cannot be doing all this, like all this stuff. It just kind of like kept building up, and then I was like, I can't. Like even when I broke up with him, I wanted to like throw my phone at the wall, because I was like, oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah.
How I wanted to ask, like, what was the final straw for you? Was there one specific thing where you were just like, I absolutely cannot anymore? Or was it just a culmination of everything that he had been doing already?
Yeah, I think that it was just such like a repetitive cycle, and like he just wouldn't let me leave. That I didn't love him anymore. I didn't want to be in that relationship. So it's kind of like, you know, if your partner's like, I can't do this anymore, I don't want to be with you, and then they're like, well, if you leave me, I'm gonna kill myself. Like, I'm only in there for the guilt now,
right?
You know, so it's not, I'm not with you because I love you anymore. It's because I feel bad for you. So yeah, it just, you know, I was just trying to get away, and like it just, you know, just being around like friends and being in LA definitely helped because it was long distance. And
did he know your location in LA and
Good
all
question.
that, or
but he didn't have any money also, so
he
it's
couldn't
not
get
like
to
he'd
you?
come.
Yeah.
Oh no, he couldn't come. I don't think I had my location or anything.
How long did it take for him to stop contacting you after you were like, I'm done?
Mm-hmm.
Months, probably months. People like that is
yeah,
months.
like it took me about like 2 weeks to actually be able to break up with him because he was like freaking out. And then then after like a few months, then he's like, he would message me and be like, oh, my grandfather like is sick, or like things to just kind of, and you're the only one close to my family, or like things like that would try to like make me like feel bad, or like you know. And then he's like, oh, I broke up with this other girl, like we should hang out. It was like constantly just trying to like get back into my life, but I just was like,
how long were you guys together?
I think like a year and a half to maybe 2 years.
Okay.
That time doubles though.
I know. I was going to say that's
like
a lot to pack
it
into
doubles.
2 years.
I was with a really crazy guy, and he was just, man, he was insane. And like, it was when I was probably like 17. No, I was 18 because I was out of high school at that point. And we had been best friends for a really long time before we started dating. And like, I felt as though he was the best I could ever get. And he lived in a really shitty situation. Like he was like way below the poverty line. I'm talking like didn't have any AC, didn't have any heat, didn't have any electricity, had no hot water. When it was wintertime, they didn't have any heat because they couldn't afford it. Him and his family, he lived with his mom, his dad, and his sister. And his sister moved out because she had like, they had a rich other side of the family that was just kind of done with them and all their bullshit.
Yeah.
And there was this one time where it was really cold during the winter because I'm from Atlanta, so sometimes it gets cold out there. And they had a big woodsy backyard, and they took a bunch of wood from the backyard and put it in the chimney, and they lit it so that it would warm up the house. And I woke up out of nowhere, and the house was just completely engulfed in like smoke. And I swear to God, if I did not wake up when I woke up, we all would have died of like asphyxiation because it was or smoke inhalation. It was so insane, like rats in the kitchen, roaches everywhere, disgusting. And like when I wanted to break up with him, he just was crazy. He would stalk me. He would tell me that I'm going to kill you. Like you can't be with anybody else but me. I'm going to find you, you fucking bitch. He would try to find me like wherever I was. If I would go to work, he would try to pop in my work. I ended up having to tell my job. It was insane. I ended up having to tell my job, hey, I'm being stalked by this crazy fucking guy. He might come to my job. And I had to like show my managers and all the other men that I worked with pictures of him. And all the guys I worked with were super protective over me. Yeah. So I would show them pictures of him. They'd be like, if he comes in here, sis, we gonna fuck him up. You know, he was this crazy ass like Persian dude. His mom was from Europe and his dad was like from Iran. And he just had this crazy thing about him, and his eyes like just, he had like some sort of birth defect where his eyes just shifted back and forth like this.
Oh my God, that's freaky.
Non-stop.
That is scary.
Non-stop.
Yeah.
Like no matter what. Yeah. He was, I can go into that on another podcast, but he was crazy. So I mean, it wasn't as intense as that, but there were definitely times where he would threaten me,
I feel like it's not,
push me up against the wall to stop me from leaving type shit. And it was really traumatic for me too. Like that was I just don't, there's so many things I blocked out because I can't think about it because it makes me
that's how
sick.
I feel. Yeah, no, exactly.
I have to totally disassociate. It's fucked. So
yeah, no, that sounds like extremely traumatic.
Yeah. So y'all out there, stay away from these abusive
that.
men. I appreciate that. And I'm sorry that you went through that too, because that is insane.
I'm always interested to see like what is their perspective of the relationship. Like, do they know what they're doing? Like, do they know how crazy and like traumatic they're making their relationship?
Like, you know, I don't even know.
Yeah,
it was crazy because even when I came to LA too, I just feel like all of my like it's like I have like an invisible like camera following me around. It's like a TV show. Like I was with this one girl, and like I said, she was very like wishy-washy. And then
was that the girl you were with when we interviewed you?
No, that was just my homegirl.
Oh,
this
okay.
was like a few years ago. I broke up with her like a year and a half ago.
Okay.
But she was like some scammer chick that I should have already like processed. Yeah, she was just like, it was weird because our communication was good, but it's like she never really told the full story because I think she was just using me because then I was helping her pay like the rent and I was helping her do this. So I would try to break up with her like multiple times and she would like cry and be like, no, like I'm just in a bad, same stuff. Like I'm in a bad place, and I understood how that feels. So I'm like, I don't want to just leave someone because they're in a bad place and they're trying to do better. Yeah. But then I just realized over time that like she just like hated me. Like there was just something she was telling other people. It was like a whole different story. And then when I broke up with her a year and a half ago, I was moving out and we got 2 cats together, Barry and Cream.
Cute.
I know, right? Yeah.
So cute.
It's so
I think
cute.
you told us this story.
Yeah, did I?
I think you might have, but go ahead.
Yeah, and she and I started being with this other guy at the time. And when I was moving out, he was like, you should just take the cats or whatever. Because she was very like, oh, I don't know. And da, da, da. But I just was like, I could never imagine her, even though like we're in a really bad spot and I don't fuck with her. I could never imagine her coming home and the cat's not being there and her like freaking out. That would just, that would break my soul. And then, so when we were planning, I was going to have one and she was going to have the other one. And then, she was like, oh, can I have the cats for my birthday tomorrow? I was like, oh my God, yeah, of course. Right. If you want to spend your birthday with the cats, like, of course. So the next day I send her a text. I'm like, hey, happy birthday. Like, so much love. I have a great day. My text doesn't go through. Like, that's weird. Text her off. Like, my man's phone at the time goes through. I'm like, that's weird. So I go to the apartment. Everything's gone, including my cats. Yeah. And she just moved to Minnesota and blocked me like on everything. Yeah. Stole the cats, blocked me on everything. That's and like so I haven't spoken to her since. It's been like a year and a half. And that shit like fucked me up. Like I remember I was having nightmares for like months just about it. And like it really made me so sad.
And it's super violating too.
Yeah, that's
it's a huge violation.
Yeah, it's like I was like, oh, I could never do that. And then she did it to me. So I was like, that's crazy. And like now she's posting and she's like, oh my God, my cats and I love them so much and I'm living my best life. And I'm like, girl, like you're fucking crazy.
Yeah, you have to be psycho to just go on with life after that.
Yeah,
I rember you telling us that story that night.
Really?
Yeah, she told us that.
Yeah, and then it was like. Then I was with the other guy too, and I do have so much love for him because his upbringing was even worse. Like he was in like foster care and then like homeless for a bit, and then with his dad who was extremely abusive, and like I was friends with him too, like you said, and he would just randomly do things like if we were all hanging out, he would just leave or something, and then I was even friends with his sister, so I'm like, what's going on with him? She's like, oh, that's just like him, and I was like, huh? And then he would like just try to kill himself to like see if it would work. So then he would like try to talk to his mom and be like, I'm suicidal, I'm depressed, I'm this. She's like, no, you're not. That abuse didn't happen to you.
Oh, that's so sad.
Prey on it?
Yeah.
Were they
giving prey on it vibes.
Yeah, because she was even in jail until he was like 15. So I think she's now just trying to completely like pretend like it didn't happen. And now she's like, no, we're a happy family and everything's great and you're not depressed and blah, 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 blah. So then when I started to be with him, psychosis like runs in his family and schizophrenia and
oh shit.
Yeah, so intense. It was kind of crazy. And so literally I feel like that's the person I've ever connected with the most. But he would go into like psychosis episodes.
Right.
And like try to like kill me.
What?
Yeah.
Like actually?
Like schizophrenic like episodes?
Like it was like he would totally switch into like a different person. Like there was a totally different look in his eyes.
Like on some Split type shit. You seen that movie Split?
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah. It was like, it was crazy. And like, it just, and I don't know why when he would go into psycho, it was like, I was like the worst enemy. Like I was like the worst person ever. So, he went to jail like a few times.
Oh man.
The first time I didn't call the police, but it was, yeah.
The first time he tried to kill you?
Yeah, with like an axe.
Girl, no way.
And this was like back in October. Yeah, and then I like let him back in.
Wow.
And then because it was like he was like, I don't remember. I'm sorry. He was like crying. He's like, I'm so
my
sorry.
gosh.
He doesn't remember.
Yeah, and then he would like he actually, and that's the first person I was with that actually wanted to get help. You know, like he like went to like the hospitals, and he went to therapy and like medication. He's like, I don't want to be this person. And like I just, you know, it was the same stuff where I felt for him because he was raised in a family where he just got, you know, like that this was okay. That it was always okay, and it was always like they were hiding something from him. So it just, but yeah, it got to the point where like psychosis episodes of like breaking my phone or smashing my laptop, or like I'd wake up and like my phone, my computer, passport, everything was gone. I'd have to get it was like, it was crazy. So, and but it, like I said, like you know, he's a lot better now, and he's gotten a lot of help, and he really takes accountability. But and I have a lot of love, but you know, it was extremely difficult because it was same like the mom. Like he would like when he saw me after the first time, like my face was like fucked up, and he saw me and he just starts like crying
because of him.
Yeah, and
he like hit you or something. Is that why your face was fucked up?
It was like pushing me to the pushing me on the ground, and like hitting and like stuff like that. But then he would see me the next day. And he would like burst, like start having a panic attack. He's like, I did not do that. I did not do that. Like that didn't happen. And then the mom like had like psychosis, and she's like, no, it's okay.
Whoa.
Like it's okay. Like it's not your fault. And he's like, no, what the fuck? Like, do you see her face? Like, da 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 da. So yeah, it was like, it's just been, and I think that was it for me. Like, it's really weird to say because it sounds like that's kind of like the worst one, but it's like, yeah, just him wanting to get help, and really like even like now I'll just check in every once in a while. He's like a completely different person like than he was last year. Like last year he didn't want to do therapy and want to do this, but now he's like, oh, I go to therapy once a week. I go to like psychiatrist, doctor's appointments, like everything. So he really like put the work in to like want to do better, and he's like a completely different person now. So like, and yeah, I know it sounds like but I do have a lot of love for him, and I really do wish, because I really just think it was the family isolating him and manipulating him, because even the mom was like, oh, it was because of you, or blah 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 blah. But then when he started living with them, like it's like he would still have the episodes. So it just, and then she was like, you shouldn't be on medication. And then when he got on medication, she's like, now you're on medication. Then she was trying to give him a million different meds and sedating him. It just was like, you know, I just look at him like baby, and he's just like, I just feel bad, because it's just you know, like he really is trying to be a better person, versus like the other old people in my life, they just didn't think anything was wrong with their actions, and they wanted to just keep choosing to be.
Seemed like he was conscious about
very self-aware, and that's why I fell in love with him too, because like, you know, I would be having a conversation with him, and you could tell that he was processing everything that I was saying, and then like the next day he would take everything I said into account and like actually change. Like I would see significant change, you know, every single day, and it would just get better and better. But then just the episodes, it was freaky.
And you want to go?
I was gonna ask, do you feel like you have a pattern of falling in love with people who need to be saved in a way, and like where do you think that stems from?
It's crazy, because it was like, I never know at the beginning. Like it always starts happening probably after like 3 months. 3-4 months. So it'll be like, oh, totally normal. everything's great, blah, 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 blah. But then I'll like gradually start to see like, because I feel like you don't really know anyone until like the 3-4 month mark.
That's true.
Yeah, so they'll really start to show their true colors, and then that's when I'm already like locked in with that person. So yeah, I don't know what it is. Like the last guy I was with, like after him, was like amazing. Did everything for me and helps me so much, and like never was, never showed any signs of abuse or whatever. But I just feel like because I was so fucked up from the last one, I realized that I was kind of using it as like a distraction, and then when time went on, I started to find toxic ways within myself. Like I would be very back and forth about things, or I didn't show consistency. And I realized that I was just very extremely unhealed from all of my past relationships. So I kind of just had to take a step back from that and be like, okay, like I don't know who I am anymore.
Wow.
And like this person's doing everything for me, but I need to do these things for myself.
Okay. And you said that you kind of felt for these, other people that you were dating, like their family dynamics and stuff. Did you have like a similar family dynamic? What was your kind of upbringing like?
Yeah, I definitely had, my parents divorced when I was like 2. And then my mom struggled with a lot of mental health, but she was like the sweetest like woman that, I've ever met. And it was like her mother was very abusive. So what really inspired me to be who I am today was that she was like, even though she got physically beaten and this and that, she was like, I'm never going to lay a finger on you and I'm never going to do that. So I really saw that, people can come from these bad situations and be able to change, but she still struggled with like bipolar and this. So it would be kind of like very, it would be like she'd lash out, but then like the next day would like cry to me and be like, I'm so sorry. That's not who I am, and I'm just going through this and that. So I feel like that definitely stemmed to my relationships where, someone's so sweet, then they lash out and then they try to confide in me and they're like, oh, I'm trying to do better, so I saw that because, I feel like there are people that are really good people deep down, but they do struggle with a lot of either mental health or trauma or PTSD. Like I said, like even me struggling with mental health and depression, like just because I'm going through a bad situation or episode, I wouldn't want my significant other just to leave me for that. So then I felt like that reflects into like I said, I see myself in other people and I'm like, oh, they say they want to do better, so then it just is like a whirlwind of just repeating cycles.
Then the lines kind of get blurred of like, okay, like how far is this gonna go with like their mental issues, and how far am I gonna stay and be along for this ride?
No, exactly, because I feel like like there's just only so much like I can handle. Because like I said, even with the last one, I think that's the first guy or person I was with that was really like, oh, I see these toxic traits and I want to do better. So that's why I even stayed in that for so long. But he actually did get better instead of just like talking, because I feel like to me, like anyone can say anything,
right?
But your words don't really mean shit without actions. And so because there are actions there, it definitely just kept bringing me in. But yeah, it's just and even though these situations were all terrible, like I'm very thankful for them as well, because I feel like they shaped me into who I am today. And if I didn't go through these things, I would be a lot older going through these things. And I'm just happy that it happened earlier on. So now, like I said, like I can really take that step to be like, okay, I'm really gonna protect my energy. Like I can still love people, but I can't get too involved with them. Like if they're going through this, or they don't have money, or they don't, I would be like, oh, I can lend you this, or I can help. But now I need to be like, I'm so sorry that you're going through that, but I can't,
right?
Yeah,
help you.
That's a healthy way to go about that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of, like, I don't want to say maturity because it sounds demeaning, but more like foresight and self-actualization to be able to set a boundary, especially being that you're so young, right? But you've had a lot of really intense experiences. And so you're young in age, but you're definitely older in mind. And I love that for you because now you can walk through your 20s into your 30s and beyond, knowing what to avoid, knowing what to look for, how to establish your boundaries, and also how to enforce them as well.
Yeah, and just protect my energy.
Yeah,
overall.
exactly.
Yeah, like I've taken too much time for other people because I just feel like I've just been distracting myself from just what I have going on. So I feel like, but then I'll just realize that I'll just be so depressed and I don't know why. And I'm like, I just, I really need to take this time for myself to build, because even my clothing brand is like, I've worked so hard on it for so long, and I can't just like, go through the day texting someone 24/7, like calling them, and like, like I just, I love the people in my life, but it's just, it's like I really just need to focus on what I'm doing, because it's just taken away so much time and energy of my life.
I think like as a creative, it's really important to find somebody else who is a creative or at least understands that lifestyle. Yeah. Because if you're just dating like some like normal 9-to-5 type person, which is fine, they're just gonna have a completely different outlook on life and outlook on what you do. Yeah.
I'm happy that you said that, because it's crazy, because I feel like it's also very difficult being a woman in the industry and the working field, because let's say I even was with a guy that does fashion as well. It's like I said, it's always good at the beginning, but then like it's weird, because then that person will, guys that I've been with, like I said, it can be with either women or men, but guys will start to be intimidated by what I do.
Real.
Yeah.
That's real.
And they'll be like, like I'll say like, oh, I have this crazy idea, and they're like, oh, that's so great, and then like a few weeks later they're like, I had this crazy idea, and it's what I said. And I'm like, annoying. I said that to you like 2 weeks ago, and they're like, what? No, I've had this idea for years, like you're tripping, and like
they really believe that too, which is the scary part. They really don't think that they took your idea.
No, exactly. So it'll just kind of turn into like a competitiveness, and it just gets really tiring and hard at the end of the day. Yeah,
creatives have a big ego too. I think
exactly.
There's a lot.
You have to.
Yeah,
or
you
at
have
least
to be
you
confident.
Have to project that you have a big ego, even though most creatives are like super insecure.
But I think
so you have to project.
Yeah, but once you like find somebody who isn't insecure in that way, and you can completely just they love what you do, like genuinely, and they want you to succeed. I think that is like just the best kind of connection, because I feel like that's what we have, is like, because we're both filmers. Like she's a filmer, I'm a filmer, and we film two totally different things. I work with a lot of musicians, and she does like narrative films, and I just want her to win. I just want her to like be the best at what she does. And I think that there are certain times where it's like, oh damn, like she got this big opportunity, and I'm like, wow, that's like, it's a little intimidating, but I'm also like really happy for her. But I think it's natural to feel a little intimidated about what your partner, like if your partner is doing things and they're becoming more and more successful, it's definitely different from when they weren't as successful, but you just can't, let it get to you. You can't let it come in between the relationship either.
Exactly, because I feel like, and that's so beautiful that you say that, and I hope that I do find that someday.
We
I
hope
just
that for you too.
Yeah,
I'm sure you will eventually. You have a good head on your shoulders, so like,
thank you.
That's step one.
Yeah, I just feel like once I just kind of like get it going again, and I take time to heal from these past relationships, because I just have been distracting myself with people and just things going on in my life. I feel like once I kind of just like get it going, then hopefully, that I can find that. There's something that I wanted to touch on too that you said that. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
Creatives having egos.
Oh yeah, what I was gonna say is like, I feel like what a lot of people don't realize as well is that if you're with someone, if your partner is doing really big things, that means you both are doing really big things. You know what I mean? Like, I always like, you know, like, I don't want to go up without my people, you know, like with the people that I love. Like, it's like, let's say, like I'm working with this really big artist and I like designed like a pair of pants or something for them. Then it's like I want to bring my partner to meet that person or be like, oh, do you need help with this? Or like then a party that they invite or an event, like I'm bringing, you know what I mean? And that's where I feel like, you know, that's where you really just gotta, like have love and trust in your partner, because it's like, you know, if in my opinion, like if you both aren't winning, it's like, you know, what's the point? It's like you're both going up together, and that's what's most important.
That's a good point, actually, because it's like, because it's about like collaborative, like especially if you're in the same field as them, like then it's so easy to bring them onto projects, because we do that all the time, actually.
All the time.
Yeah, we do that all the time with each other. So
yeah, I'm like, hey, I got a guy for that, actually.
No, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I got a guy for that. I love doing that, and I think it's really important.
Yeah,
you know. So I want you to date like the best person ever. Are you're taking a break off of dating right now though?
Yeah, definitely. I just, like even if it's just good, I just feel like I have like ADHD as well. So I get really hyper focused in things. I'll get hyper focused in work things or whatever. So I just feel like even if I'm with a guy or a girl and then she's like gone all day or whatever, it's still like, you know, if when they're back, it's like, I don't know what my brain is like, I'll want to spend time with them, or like I'll want to like cook dinner with them or do this. So then I'm just kind of like working on a project, and I just kind of stop that, and I'm like, what do you want to do? Or like, how are you feeling? Or like this, or like I said, like the phone calls and like the texting, and like I haven't taken time to be there for myself. So I feel like even just like a few months or like even like a year or so where I can get back on track doing what I love again, then I can get to that point of being able to take care of someone. I just haven't taken care of myself for so long. So if I'm not in a position of properly loving or being there for myself, I feel like I as much as I want to, I can't take care of somebody else right now. Because I feel like relationships are like 100, you know, like, you know, a guy can like provide for the girl, but then there's that's what people like say, but I feel like, you know, it's like when you're both giving to each other, I feel like that's where it definitely thrives.
Because especially in the beginning of a relationship, right? It's like
so much work.
There's so much adjustment that has to be done, and then at a certain point, you guys are just kind of on the same wavelength, and then you guys can figure out each other's schedules and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, if you have a lot going on, it's really hard to, you know, start a business, start a relationship, start all these new things. Yeah.
I'm going to start manifesting a relationship with you in a year. You let me know when you're ready, and I'll put my manifestations out there as well. You're like, hey, Asia, I'm ready to start. I'll be like, okay.
So
we're gonna.
Are you open to like that person being, you know, a woman or a man? Are they?
Definitely.
Like
Yeah, like I'm definitely bisexual. I feel like it's definitely just like if I just vibe
I love
with a person, it's like I said, like the emotional thing. You know, it doesn't really matter this or that. It's just like, I was with a girl for a while, and then we were like polyamorous for a little bit. So she had like a boyfriend.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you were poly, because you said something earlier, and I was like, oh, I wonder if she's poly.
Yeah, like some relationships I'm in, what's the word? That's not polyamorous.
There's open, and then you're polyamorous, and then there's
when you're just with one person.
Oh, monogamous.
Monogamous. Yeah.
Yeah, like some relationships I'll be in are monogamous.
No way. Pat your lap. Maybe she'll jump into it. That would blow my mind.
She wants to get scratched first.
Oh, kitty, jump in her lap.
We'll see. Sometimes she wants to. I think she wants to get smacked. She likes.
Smack her. She loves getting hit.
Yeah,
you can go harder than that. Basically, when you start feeling like it's animal abuse, it's still not enough.
She likes getting smacked.
That's so cute.
She loves it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, with the polyamorous thing. So I was with her. And then it was definitely. I feel like some of my relationships are polyamorous, and then some are monogamous, and when I was with her, it was definitely like weird. At first, like when she had a boyfriend, it kind of like made me feel weird. But then I realized, like, especially when I was working a lot, he would like take her out for dinner when I couldn't do that.
Right, because you're probably. I was about to be like, what?
Yeah, no,
Right,
like, and then like she would be like, oh, I want to go out, and I was like, I don't have time, and so he's like, oh, I'll take her out. And I love that. I was like, you know,
it's like
I was
a tag
like, oh
team,
yeah, like
kind of a tag
take
team.
her out,
Yeah.
do this, you know what I mean? Because I can't do that right now, you know. So and like I said, it's just all about like communication,
Yeah,
and all of that. But yeah, I feel like. Yeah, like when I'm with a guy, like I said, the guys aren't like comfortable with that, which is totally fine with that because I'm not, you know. So when I'm with a guy, I'm like just with him.
Do you feel more comfortable with men or with women?
I feel like it definitely like depends how I'm feeling, like because I'm bisexual, and that's why it was like kind of difficult with her as well because like she was more kind of like girly, I want to say, than me. So she was all like all the time. So then I tried to have conversations with her because I was like, I feel like you kind of look at me as like the guy in the relationship, and that makes me feel uncomfortable.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Because I like dress more masculine or like I like to get stuff done doesn't mean that I still don't appreciate masculine energy. So I still want to be taken care of and I still need these things, but I just felt like I was taking care of her all the time, and that just kind of made me feel weird because like it was weird.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean?
So interesting. Yeah.
And if I'm with a guy, like I kind of want him to like outmask me.
Totally.
Yeah. Too. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I'll do like no makeup, and I'll kind of like in menswear, I like to get things in whatever. And like I need a guy to kind of like outmask me as well. Because I feel like I give off mask a lot, even though I am still very feminine.
Right. Yeah. I love that.
Is this
duality?
Is this how you typically like dress? Is this your typical outfit, or do you kind of go back and forth? Like,
there was some post I saw, and you had like one of like the little high G strings.
Yeah,
that was a hard look.
The one piece kind of.
Oh, it's a slingshot.
Yeah, it's a slingshot.
Okay. Yeah, it's a slingshot.
Yeah, right? But I'll see like, but then I'll kind of dress like
kitty.
I have it on my
kitty. Go away or come here.
She's
jump up or go away.
She is like
choose one.
She's so cute.
Kitty, go away or come.
No, I like her. She's my little friend right now.
She's driving me crazy. I hate it when she's indecisive.
She's the third co-host of the podcast. Typically,
she's so sweet. I'll even let me show you really quick. Like this is me, like no makeup and like.
Whoa, you look
so different.
Isn't that crazy?
You look so different.
Do you have you have freckles and stuff?
I love the hair.
So then I'll just kind of like do like no makeup with a wig sometimes.
A vibe.
Totally different look.
So cute.
Yeah, so it's just funny. Like I'll just go between, like the mask or like the femme or something. Like I'll just kind of like dress like a boy.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like Central C.
Yeah, right? Right? Because people always try to talk to me on the street. And
you're
I'm
like, how could I be homophobic? I'm kind of gay.
I can't, right? Yeah, even when I lived at 6 in Spring, I could never wear my red hair out because a bunch of crackheads, and like I'd go outside and I would just be walking. I'd be like, red. I'm gonna fucking kill you, or I'm like, oh, it's like
you're like the hate for
so
ginger is real.
To start like kind of just dressing like you know, even like I said with women in the industry, I feel like they'll be very like sexualized or not taken seriously. So like I kind of just have to dress more masculine, especially around men, to be like, you know, bro, like I'm one of you, like you can't.
Right, that's so true. When I was growing up, all my friends were guys growing up, and they would just all talk. And anytime I had an idea, I'd be like, hey, I have an idea. And they would just continue talking. And I'd be like, hey, bro, I got an idea.
Yeah.
No,
and they would all shut up.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, yes.
You have
something important to add? Like,
you have to give that energy, because I'll even like, especially in Toronto, it's very like misogynistic that it's like I'll be in a group of guys.
Wow.
It's crazy. It's really crazy. And they like I like that in LA, like even though, you know, it's difficult, like women still get very like respected at the same, like even at the club or something, they're like, oh yeah, let all the girls and the guys have to pay $100, or like, you know what I mean? Or if a woman is getting yelled at on the street, like other guys will come and be like, what the fuck? And like get at the man. But in Toronto, like I said, like my ex guys would like scream at me in front of like their friends, and their friends would be like, yo, do you see that car over there? That's
crazy.
Not as confrontational out in
Toronto. They don't. So it was definitely, you know, is difficult.
So the dating scene is different. Seems like you could go ahead and give some dating advice, because I feel like that's a good, like, the dating scene in Toronto is different than the dating scene in LA. So we're gonna give some how to hang out forever dating advice.
Oh fuck yeah!
So you're gonna give it right to your camera. And what is your advice on how to hang out forever?
I feel like it's just, you know, genuinely, my biggest thing is genuinely, like I said, I used to just be very like insecure, so I feel like I was hiding a lot of who I am. But you know, I'm gonna compare it. I like this comparison. Art is like very subjective, and I feel like every single human is like an art piece, you know, and you can show the most beautiful piece of art to, you know, ever created, and there will still be people that say that they don't like it. You know, so let's say like you're into a guy, or if you're into a girl, and you're your most genuine self, and they don't like you for you. And you should never take that personally, you know, because you could then, just because someone doesn't like you or like doesn't work for them, doesn't mean it's not going to work for somebody else. You know, like a sunset cannot even compare to like a rose. They're both beautiful in like different ways, and people like different things.
Good analogy.
You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, you know, never hide for who you truly are, because if you really show yourself and that person is like, oh, I don't like you, or I don't fuck with you, it's like, you know, then this other person will. It's like you should never hide your true self, and it's at the end of the day, it's their loss. You know what I mean? So it makes me sad when I see other people get upset because they're like, oh, like he's not messaging me back, or he hasn't. It's like, then that person's not worth it.
Right.
Then that person's not your person.
That was great advice.
That was good advice. My advice on how to hang out forever is to respect your own boundaries and respect the boundaries of your partner as well. I think that we all expect the person that we're with to be everything that we need all the time. And I think that a lot of folks can get lost in feeling like that's the role of your partner.
Yeah.
But really it's not. And you need to be able to set a boundary with yourself to know when you're asking for too much from your partner, and set a boundary with them also if it's vice versa. I think that's really important.
That's what I was going to say. Basically, I'll kind of piggyback off that of like, just, you know, make sure that you're putting yourself first in a lot of situations like that, especially, I mean, because helping a partner, there's a lot of different ways that you can help your partner. And if it becomes a situation where you're constantly having to help them to the point where it's completely draining you, then you can't be a good partner, or you can't, you know, it's going to take away from things you have going on independently. So just make sure that you like, set boundaries, and you find that balance of, okay, this person needs my help right now, so I'm going to help them. But if it comes to a certain point where they're disrespecting me, or they're taking advantage of that, then, you know, you're going to have to make a decision, and you're going to have to cut out of that.
And that's why I feel like communication is the best, and finding compromises and being like, this is what works for me, what works for you, how can we like move past this, or like, you know, take time like for myself, but then, you know, the other person. There's even this analogy that I like kind of came up with that was like, even if I feel like people also need to realize as well that when they find someone that they really like lock in with, like that like you're always going to hit boundaries. And the biggest thing is communication. Like you can literally put two people that were like perfect for each other in a room, but then after like 3 months, it's kind of like, you know, you see your partner putting like bread in the fridge, and you're like, why are you doing that? Like, I don't ever put my bread.
That is psychotic.
You know, I don't ever put my bread in the fridge. And they're like, well, you're crazy. So it's kind of like, you need to realize that it's like, even if you're perfect for each other, you're also two different people, and you grew up with completely two different backgrounds.
Right.
And you just need to get comfortable and compromise and get used to like, you know, how your partner moves and how you move, and like just compromise and talk about boundaries, what works for you, what works for them, and then moving past that. You know, it's not gonna be good all the time, and that's okay. You know, it's just really talking about it and really seeing how you can move forward. And if the other person doesn't want to move forward, like I said, that's okay. And I never want people to just ever think, you know, it's that they're the issue, even if they do this or that. It's like, you will find that person for you.
Totally.
Yeah.
You spitting. You're really dropping some gems. I'm super excited for this podcast to come out.
I'm so thankful again for you having me.
Go ahead and plug yourself again for the end round. Go ahead and plug yourself into your camera. Be like, this is where you can find me, blah, blah, blah.
No, of course. Instagram, Aw Soft Bunny. I have my own clothing brand, Aw Clothing Official, AWE. My website is aw.cargo.site. T-shirts, we'll be dropping more like skirts, pants, jackets. Like my type of thing is like I can make anything. So it's like whatever you're picturing in your brain, I'll do that shit 10 times better.
Cool.
That's dope.
You know, I always just want to help people feel like their true authentic selves, and feel comfortable in their own skin, because we all deserve to feel like ourselves and never feel like we have to be someone else, you know, because be yourself. And like I said, people don't accept you. That's not your problem. They'll find people that accept you. And as long as you love yourself and love what you're doing, that's all that matters.
Period. And for all y'all in the comments being like, I need her, go to her page and support her then.
Yeah.
Don't
Send
talk
her
with your
money.
mouth, talk with your wallet.
Send
Send her
Exactly.
the money. You need some advice on how to get with her, send her some money.
Please. Honestly, I communicate with my customers the most. Like someone ordered a custom order, and now we're talking like back and forth, and I love sending people extra things and little gifts and just making people happy. So
I love that. Well, we appreciate having you
Thank
on
you
this
so much for
episode
coming.
of Hanging Out Forever. We can't wait to drop this one, and thanks to y'all for listening. Hopefully you love this. This was really, really insightful, and she's just been a very amazing guest to have on the podcast. Tap in with her.
We want to start
ASAP.
building out the Hanging Out Forever universe.
Yeah.
You know, with the people that we go viral with and stuff like that. And we love that we were able to have you on. And you're a part of the world.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
We loved hanging out with you. Thank you so much for coming.
No, and tap into both of y'all amazing, beautiful people. So thank you so much. You guys are so sweet.
You're the best.
Thank
You're
you so
amazing.
much. Thanks for
I'm
coming.
so thankful to meet you and be here.
Yeah, this was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Cool. All right. There it is, guys.
That was great. You killed that.
That was great.